Hello Believe Nation, today I'm going to share the 7 signs that you are destined to be a millionaire. So I get a lot of questions, a lot of people writing in asking me, how do I know if I'm meant to be an entrepreneur? How do I know if I'm going to make a lot of money? How do I know if I'm going to be successful or not? And so to me, there are 7 key things I'm going to break down for you guys today on how to know if you are destined to make $1 million or plus as an entrepreneur. Number 1 is that you're self-aware. And this comes both in terms of your values and your strengths and weaknesses. So your values being, this comes down to your one word for me, right? Understanding the one thing that you stand for, who you are as a human being, what the impact is that you want to make on the world. A lot of people live their life by accident. A lot of people live their life as a reaction to other people and what they want and their agendas, as opposed to making out an agenda for yourself. And when you get into business, a lot of times you partner up with people who aren't the right people for you because you don't have the self-awareness to understand who you are, what the most important core value is to you, to then be able to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. Also on the self-awareness is understanding your strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at? What are you one of the best people in the world at? And you look at most entrepreneurs, you're spending 80% of your time plus on things that you will never be the best in the world at or never want to be the best in the world at. And so that's a problem. You're never gonna have massive success. You're never gonna make a lot of money if you're spending most of your time on things that you don't want to be great at. Number 2 is that you take action. The signs of successful entrepreneurs are they get an idea and then boom, they're off and running. They take immediate action, even some kind of action, some small kind of action to be able to realize their goal somehow. Where the people who are just idea generators, and there's a lot of them who come with a ton of ideas and you're creative geniuses and you can fill a notebook full of ideas, but that's not going to help you have a big impact. That's not gonna help you make a lot of money. That's not gonna help you change a lot of lives if you're just coming up with the ideas. You need to be able to execute. And if you're the kind of person who could take an idea and then run with it and start building momentum for it, then it's much more likely that you will have success on your own as an entrepreneur. If not, then you need to partner up with somebody who is an executor. Partner up with somebody who is not very creative, who can't come up with the ideas, but they can certainly go out and go take action. And that leads back to the first point of self-awareness. Do you need to have that business partner to help you get to where you need to go? Number 3 is you take responsibility. A sign of successful people is that they accept responsibility for their life. They don't blame their surroundings, they don't blame their circumstances, they don't blame the government, they don't blame the currency, they don't blame the tax laws, they don't blame other people, they don't blame their parents, they don't blame the school they went to. They stop blaming others and they accept that I am responsible for my life and where I am right now. Think about the conversations that you have with your friends. What do you spend most of your time talking about? In general, most people just start talking about other people and they complain and vent about the day that they had and the life that they had and they need a shoulder to cry on. If that's you consistently, then it's gonna be hard for you to become a big success because you're just blaming other people and you just wanna complain, where the most successful people are not massive complainers. Right? There may be some days, there may be some bad moments, but net, they are not huge complainers because they take responsibility and accountability for their life. So if something negative is happening to you, you figure out a way to overcome it. As soon as you decide that this is happening because of me and not because of any other force, it's happening because of me, then you can start taking action to change it. And then you stop complaining because you realize it's under your control and you go off and you start making those changes. You need to accept responsibility for your life and where you are right now. You are not as successful as you want to be right now, and it's nobody's fault because of you. When you feel that, it hurts, but it's the truth and you can start making changes. Number 4 is you connect things together. A lot of the most creative, ingenious entrepreneurs didn't necessarily invent things, they just saw how things could work from different industries and put them together themselves. Howard Schultz, who created Starbucks, he went to Italy on a vacation. He saw how Italy was a mecca of coffee shops and how the coffee shop was the center of life for Italians, and he just brought that to the North American market. It was something that already worked for decades in Italy that didn't exist in North America, and so he brought it over, and he saw the opportunity to make that happen. But he didn't come up with this genius idea himself. It turned into a multi-billion-dollar business, one of the biggest brands in the world, just because he saw a connection that other people didn't see. There's an easy way to be able to create that muscle, to force that creative genius to come out a little bit more, and there are exercises you can go through. I remember hearing one about when you're trying to design something new, pick a random object and figure out how you can apply it. So example, if you are trying to design a new credit card and there's a clear Coke bottle next to you, say, what can I learn from that Coke bottle to make my credit card better? And maybe you pull, maybe the fact that it's translucent, right? Like you could see through it, right? Translucent, transparent, transparent. What's translucent? Transparent. It's transparent, you can see through it. Maybe you make the first transparent credit card. And it's not that you came up with this genius idea, you just took it from a Coke bottle. And so there's things around in your environment that you can pull from and apply it to your business that nobody else has done before, and that's what entrepreneurs are really good at. They see the connections that other people don't. Number 5 is you make learning a priority. Successful entrepreneurs, successful people who've risen to the top of any field, they like to learn. They like to understand how things work. They're constantly investing in themselves. They set out in their routine, whether it's when they first wake up or at some point during their day, where they're investing back into themselves. They're asking questions, they're reading, they're watching videos, they're reading books, they're figuring new things out. You have to like to learn. If you don't like to learn, you're never gonna grow, right? You're gonna be constantly stuck where you are right now. And so finding time in your schedule to make sure that you are learning something new every single day, again, whether from a video, a book, TV show, whatever it is, something that you're bringing into your brain to help you grow and stretch every single day, that knowledge will accumulate over time and increase your power, increase your value, so that you can bring that to the business world, have more of an impact, and make more money. Number 6 is you're not satisfied. Successful people and successful entrepreneurs, they're not satisfied. They don't like what is currently out there. Within their own products too, right? I look at my YouTube videos and I'm not satisfied. I'm extremely grateful for how they've come out. I'm extremely grateful and happy for the audience and you guys watching, but I'm not satisfied either. I want it to be better. It has to grow more. I want it to have a deeper impact, more meaningful, reach a wider audience, right? We're never satisfied. And so that helps drive you to create more things, to have a bigger impact, to have more meaning. And so when you look at your stuff, are you satisfied? It's like, yeah, that was really good. And then stop. Because as soon as you hit that plateau, as soon as you stop innovating and stop creating something new, that's when your business starts to tank. And so the successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are never satisfied with what they've created. And number 7 is you don't make money your goal. If you look at the people who've made the most money, who've had the most success as entrepreneurs, who've become not just millionaires, but multi-billionaires, money was never their goal. You look at Steve Jobs, he was a multi-millionaire in his early 20s. He could have done anything that he wanted to do. He could have retired and traveled the world and had the greatest life of all time, but he wanted to continue to work, right? Like the greatest life of all time for him meant having more of an impact, enjoying the process. And so if you make money your only goal, you'll never reach it. You never become the millionaire because you don't enjoy the process. You're not willing to put in the work to be able to get there. Where if you love what you're doing and you're adding insane value and you're having a massive impact, then the money comes as a byproduct of adding a lot of value to your community and serving your audience. And so if you want to have massive success as a millionaire, then don't make money your goal. So that's my take on the 7 signs that you're destined to be a millionaire. I'd love to know what you think of the video. Which one was your favorite? Which one is most applicable to you? Which one made you think the most? Did I miss one you want to add to the list? Leave it in the comments below and I will join in the discussion. I also want to give a quick shout out to Barry Ashcroft. Barry, thank you so much for buying a copy of my book. It really means a lot to me. For those of you watching, if you want a chance to get a shout out in a future video, make sure to pick up a copy of the book and email in your receipts so we can keep track. Thank you guys so much for watching. Continue to believe, or whatever your one word is, and I'll see you soon.